It truly baffles me how one word, one opinion, one thought, one phrase, one sentence can shake up my entire world. One thing can send me spiraling for weeks and therefore force me to face myself in such a harsh judgment, questioning each and everything about myself. It's a sickness, really, to be perceived, especially in a bad way. It's not like I want others' perception of myself to control me. For the most part, I can just shrug it off, but there's that insecure part of me that leeches onto that feeling. Every single person I've ever met or met in passing has a completely different perception as to who I am as a person. And that sucks. Most times, if my brain isn't completely distracted by actively focusing on multiple things at once, it tends to stray. And stray is really an understatement. If I let my mind wander about what others think of me, it sounds a little something like, God, he thought I was. How did I manage to make others entirely? Whoa, okay, relax. That's just one perception of you from one person, so that's if, whoa, wait, the way they looked at me just now, not good at all. One day I decide to wear something. God, how do they know? You see the fat my bra causes? Maybe I just shouldn't have worn this today and just play it safe. I believe I could pull something like this off. Maybe they just thought this top. Maybe they just caught the side of my gummy smile, or worse, the right side of my face. Oh my God, okay. Does she really think I'm that character? The lame one? The sensitive one? The overbearing one? I thought I was like that other character instead. Or maybe I'm just wrong about the way I outwardly project myself. Maybe it's because I showcased like the true version of myself just to say there's my truest self. What if... By no means at all do I want to function like this, but unfortunately it's just the way that my mind works on a typical occasion. If we're going down to specifics, I always wonder how I'm perceived in different branches of my life. To say I don't do this on a regular basis would be a complete lie. Maybe I've been perceived as superficial or even annoying through my online presence. Sure, I've curated exactly how I want to be seen through my own platforms, and it's my account, and I can do whatever I want. But I tend to overanalyze everything I post, I share, I say, what I create, and look at it from a third point of view. What if that third point of view sees me as a tryhard, unappealing, uninteresting, or just trying to be something that I'm not? Maybe I've been perceived as unattractive due to my constant need for validation of my own physicality. I have spent an embarrassing amount of time just accepting the way that I look, and yet somehow that little voice in my head keeps taunting me with judgment that only leads my eyes to go astray to compare myself to others, and therefore putting myself down in the process with all of my imperfections when I'm at my lowest. It's humiliating how surprised I get whenever I receive a compliment, especially one relating to my face. That same taunting voice, that voice being my own, whispers in the back of my mind that it simply just isn't true. Surely I can't be viewed in a pleasing way. Those stares mean absolutely nothing. Their eyes are simply just pointing out everything unsightly. Maybe I've been perceived as undesirable, undateable. I've had 21 years of practice when it comes to romance, and I feel like I already failed. 21 years and nothing to show for it. 21 years and not a single solid connection. 21 years and no one who has just liked me for me. However, I can't lie and say there hasn't been anyone at all. It's been a large range. Men old enough to be my father, men old enough to be my grandfather, and men who are genuinely off-putting. And it's not exactly my personality that they're pining for, but it's really just what's underneath my clothes. And I try to put myself out there and get myself out of the comfort zone, but it usually ends with me embarrassing myself. You can only be told you're just intimidating so many times until it just starts to feel like a lie. Yeah, I can be seen as an intimidating person. I have a mirror, but what about other girls? There are plenty of other intimidating girls out there who are doing just fine in the dating scene. What am I doing wrong? Is it just me? Am I that repulsive? Am I that foolish? Am I that clueless? And is it just a matter of being untouchable or just straight up unwanted? Maybe I've been perceived as untalented. Always good, but never quite enough. I have so many different passions that bring me so much joy, making me feel so optimistic about my future. But that tight, sinking feeling in my chest flares up when I just barely make it. When I narrowly hit that note, when I get little to no recognition for my work, when I put my blood, sweat, and tears into something, and I get no real feedback. Although the field of work I've decided to follow is incredibly rough, filled with a world full of no's, I know I have the drive to make it and fulfill my dreams, but I can't shake this discouraging feeling that everyone is just pointing and laughing behind my back. Maybe I've been perceived as a bad person. No, I've definitely been perceived as a bad person. Whether that's by not showing up for someone, missing an event, or acting on my intrusive thoughts. I think about all the times I could have been a better person in general. The friends I've lost, the relationships I've let slip away, all the times I've been a horrible daughter. When I'm alone for too long, I contemplate all of the mistakes I've made, the hurtful words I've said, and all of the ways I've been indecent. And when I'm left with all that guilt, it makes me recognize the fact that I've had this fixation with being perfect since I've been born. However, it's amazing how I've deemed myself as this people-pleasing perfectionist, and yet I haven't pleased a single person in my eyes. Maybe I've been perceived as oversensitive. No, I know for an absolute fact that I've indeed been perceived as oversensitive. Too much. A girl who is far too sensitive, far too emotional. She's making this unbearably long think piece about being perceived of all things. She gets way too touchy over the tiniest things. She's just not someone you would really want to get close to. Her emotions are just really unstable. She's been unstable for a while, really. Her best friend did pass away after all. No need to open those floodgates. Oh, no. But we absolutely can open those floodgates. At the end of the day, am I just being lied to? Okay, he hasn't texted back. Don't take it personal. But I take everything personal. Am I just showcasing different versions of myself to others? Maybe I've been perceived as silly, stupid, foolish, for even thinking it meant something. Anything. I'm making this situation
I
why do I have to use
different
different
persons?
Maybe
I've
had different people. Just a moment of maybe I really am oversensitive. Maybe I just feel a lot. But maybe I'm just not great. I'm not talented. I'm not worthy. I'm not for love. I'm not enough. I'm not the favorite. I'm not as pretty. I'm not strong enough. But at the end of the day, when I'm left alone with nothing but my thoughts laying in my bed, begging for the thoughts to shut up for 2 seconds, the top question rings in my brain the loudest. Why do you care so much of what others think of you anyways? I wish I could sit here and say that it doesn't bother me that every person I've interacted with on the planet has a different perception of me, that they still have old versions of me lingering in their brains despite how much I've changed. I wish that didn't bother me to my absolute core. But every day for the past 21 years, or however long I've been mentally conscious of others' perceptions toward me, I try my absolute hardest to let my own perception of myself shine through above all others. I am the only one who knows myself fully, and I really need to try harder in not forgetting that. Unfortunately, I care a lot about what others think of me, but I try not to lose myself in others because it can be so easy to forget who you are in your own eyes. One day I hope to be at peace with the notion that everyone has a different image of me in their heads, and that's okay. Most times I can't stand myself. Other days I'll find that I'm pretty funny when I want to be. Sometimes I'm shocked at my ability to persevere, and on the rare occasion I'll smile to myself when I realize I actually quite like who I am. I perceive myself as many things, both good and bad, and what's in between. But as long as I place my own perception of myself on the highest pedestal, those blaring thoughts of what others think get a little bit quieter. And I hope the loudest voice above all others is my own.